Now we will start the rectifier performance characteristics. The next point is the cycloconverters. The cycloconverters is the AC voltage controllers. It provides variable output voltages. The frequency of the output voltage is fixed in the addition of harmonic content is high in the especially at the lot of output voltage range. Low output voltage range. The output of variable voltage is the variable frequency can be obtained from the two-stage convergence, that is the fixed AC to variable DC, that is the controlled rectifiers. Then the variable DC to variable AC is the variable frequencies, that is for examples inverter which are used in the previous lectures. Then the cycloconverters can be eliminations the need of one or more intermediate converters. Then the definitions of the cycloconverter is a cycloconverter is a direct frequency changers that converts AC power at one frequency to AC power at the another frequencies. By AC to AC conversions without in any intermediate convergence links, that is called as the cycloconverters. The cycloconverters is the majority of cycloconverters are naturally commutated and the maximum output frequency is limited to the value that is only fraction of the source frequencies. That's why the cycloconverters is the low speed AC motor drives ranging from the 15,000 kilowatt with the frequencies from 0 to 20 Hz. Then the AC drives we discuss in the next chapter of the applications of the power electronics. Now, the development of the power convergence techniques and the modern control methods, inverter it is fed to the motor drives are taking over the cycloconverters. Now, then the first cycloconverter is the single phase cycloconverters. Then the circuit diagram is here shown here and the waveforms, it is a voltage current waveforms. Now what is the principle of the single phase cycloconverters? That is the principle of operations. It is a single phase or single phase cycloconverters can be explained in the is shown in diagrams in this. Then the two single phase controls we can use here two single phase control converters, that is four diodes used in this part, that is called as the single phase control converters, and the other is the single phase. In that means the two single phase control converters are operated in the bridge rectifiers. Four diodes used in these circuits or any circuits, it is called as the bridge rectifiers. Then the time delay angles as the output voltage of any converter which is equal to and the opposite of the other converters. If there are the two converters, that is first is the P converter and other is the N converter. The P converter it is operating alone. The average output voltage is a positive if the N operator output voltage is the negative. As shown in diagram, it is the equivalent circuit of dual converters. Now, the waveforms of the output voltage and the gating signals of the positive and the negatives converters. With the positive converters, waveforms are the two different ways, positive and the negative. Then the positive converters and the time T0 by 2 and the negative converter operating for time, it is also T0 by 2. The frequency of the output voltage, that is F is equal to 1 upon T. This is the working of single phase cycloconverters. Now next part is the chopper. The chopper it is called as the circuits. It is DC to DC converters as similar to the transformers. Then the chopper are used to the step up and the step up of the DC powers. They change the fixed DC power and the variable DC powers. By using these DC power supplies and the device can be adjusted for the required amounts of the chopper circuits. There are two types of the chopper circuits, step up chopper and the step down choppers. Now first we will discuss in the principle of step up choppers. We will ask the questions. Explain the principle of step up chopper with the relevant equations or the with explain in the circuit diagrams. Now first, this is the circuit diagram of step up choppers. By used here voltage inductor choppers, that is the diodes used here, thyristor used here, diode, capacitor and the loads, and below is the waveforms of the step up choppers. Now it is used in the load voltage, it is higher than the input voltage. That means input voltage is the V and output voltage is the Vs. In short, V0 is greater than VE. That means the load voltage is higher than that of the input voltage V. Now, the figure shows the circuit diagram of step-up choppers. A switch is connected. There is a switch. That chopper, it is the switch. Then switch, there is two conditions. Switch is on and the switch is off. Then a switch is connected across the inductor and supply of filter capacitors is used across the loads to make the output voltage V0. Then the diode D1 blocks, then the reverse flow of output current which switch is turned on. When switch is turned on, then the diode D blocks, then the reverse output current voltage across the loads. Now, when the switch is closed for the time t, then the current flows through the inductor from the supply and the inductance or current rises and energy is stored to the inductors. Now, the output voltage V0 is equal to 0. This is the first part. Then, suppose switch is open for the time t2, then the energy stored in the inductor is transformed to the loads through the diodes and the inductor current will be, the diode D1 is the forward bias. That's why V0 is equal to V. Then we assume that the continuous current flow by the waveforms for the inductor currents as shown in figures. The output voltage chopper is on, then the across current of the VL is equal to L into di upon dt. This is the first part of step up choppers. The step up chopper, the output voltage V0 is higher than the input voltage. Then it depends on the output voltage and current. Now, performance characteristics of step up choppers. The performance thyristor, it requires the minimum time of turn on and the turn off. Then the duty cycle can be varied only between the minimum and maximum value. Then the limiting of the minimum and maximum value of the output voltage. Then to find the ripple factor in the load current, it depends on inversely to the chopping frequency f. Therefore, the reduce the load ripple currents frequency it should be high as the possible voltage. Then the classifications of choppers. Choppers are classified into 5 types: class A chopper, class B chopper, class D chopper, class C chopper and the class E choppers. Now the working and the output voltage quadrants we will study in detail of the choppers and the classifications of choppers. Now first is the class A choppers. Now this is the circuit diagram of the class A choppers. The class A chopper circuits with the inductive load and the freewheeling diodes. That is the simple diode FD. FD means the freewheeling diodes. Load is the inductive loads. and chopper. Chopper is the switch is on and the off. Then the class A chopper circuits with the inductive loads and the freewheeling diode. When chopper is on, the supply voltage V is connected to the chopper's is supply voltage Vs is connected across the load, that is Vs is equal to V0, and the current I flows through as shown in figure. Now when the chopper is off, that's why V0 is equal to 0 and the load current I0 is continuous to flow in the same directions through the freewheeling diodes. Therefore, the average values of the output voltage and the currents V0 and I are always positives. Hence, the class A chopper is the first quadrant. Why? Because the voltage and currents are both are positive, then the class A chopper is the first quadrant choppers or single quadrant choppers. Then figure shows this is the class chopper of freewheeling diodes. Input versus current versus output current versus output voltages. Then class A chopper is a step down chopper which is the power always flow from the source to the load. It is used to control speed of the DC motors, and the output current equations in the step down choppers with the RL load can be used in the study of performance of the class A choppers. Now second is the class B choppers. The class B choppers circuit diagrams is shown here. Input voltage Vs, output voltage V0, current flowing through the I0, and the freewheeling diode. It is connected in the reverse bias or the reverse conditions. Now working of the class B choppers, the figure shows the class B chopper circuits. When the chopper is on, then V0 is equal to 0. That means the drives current I0 through the L and R. Only inductor directions in the opposite. During the on period or the on state conditions, the V0 is equal to Vs, then the part of energy stored in the inductor and it is returned to the supplies. As the current I0, it continues the flow from load to the source, and the average output voltage is positive and the average output current is the negative. That means voltage is positive and the current is negative is the second quadrant. That means the average output voltage and the class B choppers, it operates in the second quadrants. This is shown here waveforms in the second quadrant D2. Now class B is used for the regenerative braking of the DC motors. Then the output voltage and the currents in the class B choppers. Then third is the class C choppers. This is the circuit diagram of class C choppers. Then working of the class C choppers. The class C chopper is the combination of class A and class B choppers. Then the figure shows class C is the two quadrant chopper circuits. First quadrant operations, that is the CH1, that is the quadrant 1 is channel 1 is on or the D2 conducts. For the second quadrant operations, CH2, that is the channel 2 is on, then the D1 conducts. That means both diodes are conducts when positive or negative. That means the current and the voltage is positive or negative. That's why the works in the first quadrant operations, that is C is the two quadrant chopper circuits, first quadrant and the third quadrant. Then the output voltage is equal, Vs is equal to V0 is equal to Vs, and the load is receives power from the source, which is the channel is turned off. The energy stored to inductance, it flows current to the diode D2, and the output voltage V0 is equal to 0. That's why I0 it continues to flow in the positive directions. When CS2 is a trigger, then the voltage Vs it flows in the I0 it flows in the opposite directions with the L circuits. Then the output voltage V0 is equal to 0 on turning the off CS2. The energy stored in the inductance that drives the current through the D1 and the supply. The output voltage Vs is equal to V0 is equal to Vs, and the input current becomes negative. Power flows from the load to the source conditions. This is the working of class C choppers. Now next is the class D choppers. This is circuit diagram of class D choppers, and the quadrants as shown here. This is the two quadrants type B chopper or the D chopper circuits. Now it is the D two quadrant chopper circuits. Then the used here two channels, two diodes in the opposite directions, and it is connected to the loads. Now working of the class D choppers, when CH1 that is channel 1 and the CH2 that is the channel 2 chopper circuits channels are triggered in the simultaneously, the output voltage V0 is equal to Vs, and the output current I0 it flows through the load, and the directions is shown here the diagrams. Now when CH1 and CH2 are turned off, the load current I0 it continuous flow in the same directions through the loads, the D1 and D2, to the energy stored in the inductor L. But the output voltage V0 is equal to minus Vs. Then the average load voltage V0 is positive if the chopper is on time, if the more than their off times. The average output voltage it becomes a negative, then the directions of the load current is always positive, but the load voltage can be positive or the negative. There is the two parts or two quadrant circuits, that is class A and the class A chopper or the D chopper circuits. Then last is the class E choppers. The class E choppers, there are the two circuit diagrams as shown in here. Then this is the four quadrant circuits. Four quadrants, that means quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3 and the quadrant 4, that is the four quadrant operations used here. That is class E choppers. There is a circuit diagram as shown here. Now the working of the class E choppers, when the CH1, there are four channels used here in both the circuits. When CH1 and the CH4 opposite channel used here are triggered, then the output current I0 flows in the positive directions as shown in figure through the CH1 and the CH4 with the output voltage V0 is equal to Vs. It gives the first quadrant operations. First conditions, channel 1 and channel 2 gives the operations, then the current flows through the positive directions, that means output voltage is a positive, then it gives the first quadrant operations. When the channel 1 and channel 4 is off, then the energy stored in the inductor that drives the I0 through D3 and D2 in the same directions, but the output voltage is negative, that is V0 is equal to minus Vs. Therefore, the chopper operates in the four quadrant. The four quadrant operations, the direction of the must be reverse bias. When channel 2 and channel 3 are triggered, the load current I0 flows in the opposite directions and output voltage V0 is equal to minus Vs. Since the both I0 and V0 are negative, then the chopper operates in the third quadrant. When both CH2 and CH3 are off, the load current I0 continuous flow in the same directions through D1 and D4. Then the output voltage V0 is equal to Vs. Then the chopper operates in the second quadrant as V0 is positive but I0 is the negative. It shows the operations of the different quadrants as the circuit diagrams. This is the working of class E choppers. Now next part is the switching operations or the switching mode regulations. The switching mode regulations there are the four types of the regulations: buck regulator, boost regulator, buck boost regulator and the Kirk regulator. Now what is the switching mode regulations? Why it is need for the regulators? Then the DC converter, it is used to the switching modes regulators to convert DC voltage. Normally it is unregulated. Then to regulate the DC output voltage, the regulations is normally achieved by the PWM, that is a pulse width modulations at the fixed frequency, and the switching device is normally BJT, MOSFET or the IGBTs. Then the element of switching mode regulators we can notice from the output of these converters with the resistive load is the discontinuous and the contents of harmonics. Then the ripple content is normally reduced by the LC filter. Then the switching regulators are commercially available of the integrated circuits. Then the design of can select switching frequency by the choosing the value of R and C frequency oscillators. Then the rule of maximize efficiency minimum oscillator period, it should be 100 times longer than the transistor switching times. For example, if the transistor have switching time is 0.5 microseconds and the period of oscillator it would be 50 microseconds, then the which gives the maximum oscillator frequency is the 20 kHz. This limitations is due to the switching loss of transistors. Then the transistor switching loss increases with the switching frequency, as a result efficiency decreases. In the control voltage VC, by comparing the output voltage and desired the value of switching circuit. This is the switching mode regulations and the switching circuits, how to switch the circuits. Now this is the types of the regulator circuits: buck regulator, boost regulator and the buck boost regulator and Kirk regulators. Now first we will discuss in the buck regulators. This is the circuit diagram of buck regulators. Circuit diagrams and the input and output waveforms is drawn here. Then first we will study the circuit diagrams. Input voltage Vs, that is a voltage source Vs, is applied here. This is the DC power supply, DC choppers and control circuits, amplifier circuits used here, reference circuits used here and the output voltage, that means switching device diodes, inductors and the capacitor used here. Now the working of the buck regulators. In the buck regulator, the average output voltage, suppose average output voltage is the V and the input voltage is Vs. Hence, the name of buck, a very popular regulator. In the circuit diagram of buck regulator, by using the power BJT switching device which is used here, the BJT bipolar junction transistors. Then the operations of the can be divided into two modes, mode first and the mode second. Then the mode first, it begins the transistor Q1 is switched on at t is equal to 0. Then the input current which rise flows through filter, inductor L, filter capacitor C and the load resistor R. Then second is the mode 2. The transistor is switched off, that means T is equal to T1. Then the freewheeling diodes deconducts due to the energy stored in the inductor, and the inductor current it continuous flow through the diodes, inductors, capacitors in these parts. Now the inductor current falls until the transistor Q1 is switched on. Again the next cycles, then the equivalent circuits of the mode of operations, the waveforms of the voltage and currents as shown here. Then the continuous current flows in the inductor L. It is assumed that the current rises and the falls linearly. In practicals, the switch has been finite nonlinear resistance. Its effect can be generally is the negligible in the most applications. It depends on the switching frequencies, filter, inductance, capacitance and the inductor current. It could be discontinuous in these parts. In the waveforms as shown here, voltage and current waveforms is the buck regulators. Now second is the boost regulators. The boost regulators, the circuit diagram used here, input voltage Vs is applied, inductor, switching circuits, power BJT, diode, capacitor and the inductors. Now in the boost regulator, the output voltage is greater than the input voltage. Hence the name is boost. Why it is name is boost? The output voltage is greater than the input voltage. The boost regulator by using the power MOSFET and the circuit operations can be divided into two modes. The mode 1, it begins the transistor is switch on at t is equal to 0. Then the input current which rise flows through the inductor L and the transistor Q1. Then the mode 2, it begins the transistor M1 is switch off. The current that flows through the transistor now flow in the L, C, load and the diodes. Then the inductor current falls until the transistor M1 it is turned on again the next cycles. Then the energy stored in the inductor L it is transferred to the load. The equivalent circuits for the modes of operations of the boost regulators, and these waveforms is the continuous to the load currents and rises from the rises or falls linearly of the boost regulators. Then third is the buck boost regulators. The buck boost regulators, input voltage V in applied here, switch S1, that is a mode switch S1 is closed and the S1 is opens. Now working of the buck boost regulators. A buck boost regulator it provides the output voltage that may be less than or greater than the input voltage. It is not less than or the greater than, it is maybe less than or greater than the input voltage. Hence the name of buck boost regulators. Then the output voltage polarity, it is opposite to that the input voltage, and this regulator is called as the inverting regulator. And the arrangement, this is the circuit arrangement of buck boost regulator circuits. Then the operations of the buck boost regulators is divided into two groups, two modes. During the mode 1, the transistor is a turn on and the diode D is a reverse bias. Then the input current which rise flows through the inductor L and the transistor. During the mode 2nd, the transistor is switched off. The current which flows through the inductor L, would be flow through L, C and the diode D and load. Then the energy stored in the inductor L, which is transferred to the load, and the inductor current it follows the transistor is switched on again in the cycles. Then the equivalent circuits of the modes, that is the steady state voltage and the current of the buck boost regulators are shown here. This is the working of buck boost regulators. Then next part is the DC switches. The DC switches, which is the DC, that means the direct switches. The DC switches is the static switch. It is two types of the AC and the DC switches. The thyristor or the lines are natural commutated and the switching speed is limited by the frequencies and the AC supply, that is turn off time of the thyristors. Then the DC switches are force commuted at the switching speed. It depends on the turn on time and the turn off of the devices. Now DC devices and the DC sources, this is the first part we will discuss, and we will learn the solid state relay. Then what is solid state relay? The solid state relay, it is the static switch. It can be used in the solid state relays, which is used for the control of AC and the DC powers. It is many applications in the industrial controls. For example, the control of motor loads, transformers, resistance heatings. Then to replace the electromechanical relays for the applications of thyristors can be used, and the DC applications. Then the transistor are used isolated electrically in between the control circuits of the solid state relay. This is the circuit diagram of solid state relay. It is the two basic circuits for the DC solid state relays. One with the reed relay isolations and the other is the optocoupler. There are two circuits used here. First one is the reed relay isolations and the other is the optocoupler. Then although the single phase circuits, it can be operated by the solid state relays, it is the normally used for AC power because the requirement of only one gating circuits of the triac circuits. It shows the solid state relay with a reed relay, then the transformer isolations. Then the applications, it contains the requirements of demand the thyristors for the high power levels and the circuits. It can also used for operate the solid state relays and the competitively in gating circuits. It would be inverse of the circuitaries. Now solid state relay are used for the many applications in the industrial control, replacing the electromagnetic relays. They are normally isolated then the electrically between the control circuits of the loads. Now next DC sources is the microelectronic relays. The microelectronic relays is the normally opens. It is the replacement for the electromechanical relays for the general purpose switching of the analog circuits. There are the main two types of the microelectronic relays, photovoltaic relay and the photovoltaic isolators. Then the use of power MOSFETs or the insulated gate bipolar in transistors on the output sides. Then we can use here the two MOSFETs. In the uh, economically affordable and the sufficiently compact photovoltaic generator, it produces the weak output. In the practical, photovoltaic generator can generate several volts into the open circuit load, but only microamperes of the output currents. The output of the photovoltaic generators, it is used to drive the MOSFETs. Then the modern power MOSFETs, it requires only several volts and the full conductions of the microelectronic relay. This is the circuit diagram of microelectronic relay. There is used here LED, PDA, resistor R, and there is the two resistor used here. Now next is the photovoltaic relay. Photovoltaic relay, this is the circuit diagram of photovoltaic relay. It shows the schematic of photovoltaic relay. The light emitting diodes that provides the electro-optical isolations. Then it consists of the photovoltaic relays.